Overview: food security means availability, accessibility, and affordability of food to all people at all times. Food security depends on the public distribution system, PDS, and government vigilance and action at times when this security is threatened. What is food security? Food security has the following dimensions. Forcing availability of food means food production within the country, food imports, and the previous year's stock stored in government granaries. B. Accessibility means food is within reach of every person. C. Affordability implies that an individual has enough money to buy sufficient, safe, and nutritious food to meet one's dietary needs. Food security is ensured in a country only if 1. Enough food is available for all the persons. 2. All persons have the capacity to buy food of acceptable quality. 3. There is no barrier on access to food. Why food security? During natural calamities such as drought, production of food grains get decreased, creating a shortage of food in the affected areas. The prices get increased due to shortage of food. People cannot afford to buy food, and if such a calamity happens in a very widespread area or is stretched over a longer time period, it might cause a situation of starvation. Massive starvation might take a turn into a famine. A famine is characterized by widespread deaths due to starvation and epidemics caused by forced use of contaminated water or decaying food, and loss of body resistance due to weakening from starvation, who are food insecure. In India, a large section of people suffers from food and nutrition insecurity. People having little or no land, traditional artisans, providers of traditional services, petty self-employed workers, and destitute, including beggars, are the worst affected groups. In the urban areas, the food insecure families are those who are generally employed in ill-paid occupations and the casual labor market. These workers are largely engaged in seasonal activities and are paid very low wages. The social composition, along with the inability to buy food, also plays a role in food insecurity. People of SC, ST, and OBC communities who have either poor land base or very low land productivity are prone to food insecurity. People affected by natural disasters who migrate to other areas in search of work are among the most food insecure people. A large proportion of pregnant and nursing mothers and children under the age of 5 years constitute an important segment of the food insecure population. Another aspect of food insecurity is hunger, which is not just an expression of poverty, it brings about poverty. Hunger has chronic and seasonal dimensions. Chronic hunger is a consequence of diets persistently inadequate in terms of quantity and/or quality. Seasonal hunger is related to cycles of food growing and harvesting. Since independence, India has been aiming at self-sufficiency in food grains. After independence, Indian policymakers adopted all measures to achieve self-sufficiency in food grains. In the field of agriculture, India adopted a new strategy, which resulted in the Green Revolution. Food security in India. Since the Green Revolution, the country has avoided famine even during adverse weather conditions. India has become self-sufficient in food grains during the last 30 years because of a variety of crops grown all over the country. The availability of food grains has been ensured with a carefully designed food security system by the government. This system has two components: A. Buffer stock, and B. Public distribution system. What is buffer stock? Buffer stock is the stock of food grains, namely wheat and rice, procured by the government through the Food Corporation of India, FCI. The stock of wheat and rice are purchased by the FCI from the farmers where there is surplus production. The farmers are paid a pre-announced price for their crops called Minimum Support Price, MSP, every year. The MSP is declared by the government before the sowing season to provide incentives to farmers for raising the production of these crops. Buffer stock is created to distribute food grains in the deficit areas and among the poorer section of the society at a price lower than the market price, also known as issue price. What is the public distribution system? FCI distributes the food procured from the farmer through government-regulated ration shops. It is called the Public Distribution System, PDS. Ration shops, also known as fair price shops, keep stock of food grains, sugar, and kerosene for cooking. Rationing in India was introduced during the 1940s against the backdrop of the Bengal famine. In the mid-1970s, 3 important food intervention programs were introduced. Public Distribution System (PDS) for Food Grains Integrated Child Development Services (ICDS), a Food for Work (FFW). At present, there are several poverty alleviation programs (PAPs), mostly in rural areas, which have an explicit food component also. Employment programs greatly contribute to food security by increasing the income of the poor. Current status of Public Distribution System. Public Distribution System, PDS, is the most important step taken by the Government of India towards ensuring food security. In 1992, revamped Public Distribution System, RPDS, was introduced in the country. From June 1997, Targeted Public Distribution System, TPDS, was introduced to adopt the principle of targeting the poor in all areas. In 2000, two special schemes were launched: Antyodaya Anna Yojana, AY, and Annapurna Scheme, APS. Over the year, the PDS proved to be the most effective instrument of government policy in stabilizing prices and making food available to consumers at affordable prices. However, the public distribution system has faced severe criticism on several grounds. High level of buffer stocks of food grains is very undesirable and wasteful. In states such as Punjab, Haryana, Western Uttar Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, mainly two crops, wheat and rice, are grown. The intensive utilization of water in the cultivation of rice has also led to environmental degradation and fall in the water level, threatening the sustainability of the agricultural development in these states. PDS dealers started malpractice like diverting the grains to open market to get better margin, selling poor quality grains at ration shops, irregular opening of the shops, etc. In recent years, there is another factor that has led to the decline of the PDS. The three types of cards and the range of prices that you see today did not exist. Now, with TPDS of three different prices, any family above the poverty line gets very little discount at the ration shop. The price for APL families is almost as high as open market price, so there is little incentive for them to buy these items from the ration shop. The Public Distribution System, PDS, stands as a cornerstone of India's food security strategy, deeply rooted in the government's commitment to ensuring that all citizens have access to essential food items. Initiated in 1992 with the revamped Public Distribution System, RPDS, it aimed at streamlining the delivery of food grains to those in need. In June 1997, the introduction of the Targeted Public Distribution System, TPDS, marked a significant shift, focusing on explicitly targeting impoverished households across all regions. Over the years, PDS emerged as a critical instrument for stabilizing food prices and enhancing accessibility to essential goods at reasonable rates. However, the system is not without its challenges and has faced growing criticism. One major concern is the high level of buffer stocks, which often leads to wastage and inefficiency. Certain states, particularly Punjab, Haryana, and parts of Uttar Pradesh and Andhra Pradesh, predominantly cultivate wheat and rice. This monoculture practice has intensified water usage, resulting in environmental issues and diminishing water levels, jeopardizing sustainable agricultural practices. Malpractices by PDS dealers have further tainted the system's integrity. Instances of diverting food grains to the open market for higher profits, selling substandard grains, and irregular shop operations have become alarmingly common. As a consequence, consumer trust in the PDS has waned. Additionally, the evolution of TPDS into a multi-tier pricing structure with differentiated cards for various economic classes has complicated matters. Families just above the poverty line find little advantage in purchasing from ration shops, as prices often mirror or exceed those in open markets. Amidst these challenges, cooperatives have emerged as a significant asset in combating food insecurity in India, particularly in southern and western regions. Cooperative societies have become vital channels for supplying affordable goods to disadvantaged populations. Prominent examples like Mother Dairy in Delhi and Amul in Gujarat depict how cooperatives can effectively support food security objectives. The Academy of Development Science, ADS, in Maharashtra represents further innovative cooperative solutions that enhance food access. In conclusion, while the public distribution system remains a pivotal component of India's approach to food security, it is imperative to address the systemic flaws and corruption that undermine its effectiveness. Simultaneously, fostering the growth of cooperatives can offer a complementary solution, providing affordable food options, and reinstating confidence in local food distribution mechanisms. These combined efforts are essential for ensuring a resilient and equitable food security framework for all.